Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought of talking about a novel. So I selected The Vendor of Sweets by R.K. Narayan. Let's talk about the novel now. R.K. Narayan is regarded as one of the greatest Indian writers. He was actually the most artistic writer of India. He has written many interesting novels. And this novel, The Vendor of Sweets, is a classic of Anglo Anglican fiction. And it has received international recognition and has been translated into a number of Indian and foreign languages. Let's talk about this interesting novel today. R.K. Narayan's novel The Vendor of Sweets is a biography of a fictional character named Sri K.V. Jagan or Jagannath. Jagan is a sweetmeat vendor lives in a fictional Indian town called Malgudi. He has a son and his conflict with his son and how he finally leaves for renunciation overwhelmed by the sheer pressure and monotony of his life is beautifully reflected in this story. Now let's pay our attention on the plot of the story. Jagan is a sweetmeat vendor. Vendor means a seller. He is a successful businessman, a vehement follower of Mahatma Gandhi, and an honest, hardworking, and humble resident of the fictional town Malgudi in India. He was influenced deeply by Mahatma Gandhi when he was young, and he left his studies and his peaceful life to become an active member in India's struggle for freedom from the British Empire. Jagan always reads Bhagavad Gita and he tries to act on the principles described in the Bhagavad Gita and he believes in natural way of living. Actually, naturopathy forms the pivotal of his life and he desires to publish his natural way of living in the form of a book. However, it becomes a dream because the draft of this book has been gathering dust in the office of the local printer Nataraj. Nataraj is the printer in the town Malgudi. This Jagan wears hand-spun clothes that signifies purity to him, and he has been commended for it by Gandhi himself. Ambika is Jagan's wife. She dies from a brain tumor in his early days and leaves him to care for their one and only son Mali. Mali is gradually spoilt by Jagan and his maternal obsession towards his son's life. Later in his college days, Mali displays his deep dislike for education and says that he would like to be a writer. Afterwards, he decides to leave college and go to America to study creative writing. Mali gets his passport and tickets ready without informing Jagan about his plans. They don't have a strong bond between each other. Therefore, Mali doesn't tell about his plans to his father Jagan. In fact, Jagan used to hide some part of his earnings to avoid taxes. And Mali takes the money from his father's hidden treasure to fulfill his expenditures. Eventually, Jagan gets to know about this, but he accepts this with good heart and treasures every letter received from Mali and proudly exhibits them to anyone whom he meets. A few years later, westernized Mali returns to Malgudi with a half American, half Korean girl. She's Grace, and Mali claims that she's his wife. Jagan assumes that they are married according to the social norms and standards, but later he realizes that Mali's relationship with her has further eroded. However, this girl is a good girl. She tries to build up a strong bond between Jagan and herself. And Jagan also develops an affection for Grace and feels that Mali is not giving her the attention she deserves. Mali has an idea of starting a machine factory with the association of anonymous business partners from America. He expresses this idea to Jagan, but Jagan has no idea about this. And this Jagan is unwilling to provide the financial infrastructure, and it causes more friction between Jagan and his son Mali. Troubled by this turmoil, Jagan decides to retire from active working. Through an unexpected meeting with the top businessmen of the region, this Jagan comes across the bearded man, whose eloquence makes Jagan contemplate on his dull and monotonous life. He starts to develop a desire to have renunciation from his life, and he suddenly falls into a recollection of his happy past with his family and his wife, and it further strengthens his need for reunion. As this happens, Mali is caught by the police for driving under the influence of alcohol. Jagan then asks his cousin to make sure that Mali stays in prison for some time so that he can learn his mistakes. After that, Jagan writes a check to the cousin and asks him to buy a plane ticket for Grace to go back to her motherland. This is how the story ends. But still, we don't have answers for these questions. What does Mali do after the retreat of Jagat? Did Grace ultimately return to America? No answer is provided for these questions. In this novel, we have a few main characters. Let's talk about Jagan first. Jagan is the protagonist of the story. He was a follower of Gandhi when he was young, and now he is a sweetmeat vendor by profession. He is a timid man and not notably wealthy or poverty stricken. He wants to spend his life with the least troubles. Jagan appears to be an extremely orthodox and peaceful man. His one and only son is the apple of his eye, but he hates his Western culture. Occasionally, Jagan hates Western culture and exploits religion and his Gandhian principles to save himself from his mental agitation and Mali's various attempts at destroying his peace. The second main character is Mali. Jagan's son is Mali. He is an ambitious young man spoiled by his father Jagan. He has a strong dislike towards the educational system of India and he desires for more modern prospects of business. He blames his father for his mother's death. After studying creative writing in America, he comes back to his hometown Malgudi and tries to modernize it. The next character that we meet in the novel is the cousin. The cousin is the man about the town. He claims his cousinhood with everyone in Malgudi. He is a cousin to everybody. He proves to be helpful in creating a communicative bridge between Jagan and Mali. He appreciates Jagan's simple Gandhian style and gets on well with Mali and his various modern styles. He creates humor and hypocrisy in the story. The next important character that we meet in the novel is Grace. She is a half American, half Korean girl, and Mali brings her to Malgudi claiming that she is his wife. She works like a catalyst between the two cultures and tries to adapt herself according to the Indian culture that she has entered into. She's a good girl and she does domestic work with great pleasure. Ambika. Ambika is Jagan's wife. She does not make a physical appearance in the novel. She is a weak lady who suffered from an acute headache, and she dies of a strange type of a brain tumor when Mali is a small child. Her death creates a barrier between Jagan and Mali because Mali thought that his father's theories of nature cure had killed his mother. Here I have given you a brief introduction to the novel and the characters. Let's meet soon again with more notes. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.